Hi, Leo. Welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your January 2021 love reading. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season and a happy new year. And thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as person readings go, I'm going to bring them back sometime in January, just not sure of the date yet. But when I start them up, I'll make an update in the community section of the channel. As far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridging the gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest, cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection, and we'll look at the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards with some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot Sexual Magic. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as theirs. If you feel like it's the other way around, then definitely trust that. Alright, so I'll fall that out of the way. Past energy on your side, we have the Seven of Coins. So this is actually Taurus energy here. And when I'm feeling with this, to me it says that you guys might have had your doubts as to whether or not you could take them seriously when it came to a committed relationship. For some of you, you might have even been comparing them to, other connections that you see in your lives. So, for example, comparing your connection with this person to connections that your friends might have, things like that. But yeah, it definitely looks like you might have felt like they were further behind than you were. So you might have been trying to figure out if you felt like they would actually be a good fit for your lives as far as a committed connection goes. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the Ten of Cups. So this is actually Pisces energy here, which for you guys is your 8th house. So to me it looks like they definitely saw the potential for this to be a long-standing commitment. It looks like they probably had a lot more faith in the connection than you did in the past. And they might have even extended an offer to you, but for whatever reason it looks like you might have been looking down on it to a certain extent. So again, I feel like I said it seems like you might feel like they're not on the same level as you as far as maturity, possibly even as far as career goes. Maybe it's even someone you work with that might be under you in some way, but that's what I'm seeing there. All right. In the present position on your side, we have the Three of Arrows. So this is actually Libra energy here, which for you guys is your 3rd house. And if we look at her face, it looks like she's trying not to look at it, but she's kind of looking back at that heartbreak. So could just be around this connection where, again, you might just be disappointed that you might feel like they're coming up a bit short of where you hoped they would have. Or it could just be saying that this could be a heartbreak that you've already had from a previous connection that you've just been reluctant to look at. And, you guys are going to have that full moon in your sign toward the end of January, but toward the end of December, so it hasn't happened yet at the time I'm recording this anyway. Toward the end of December, there's going to be that full moon in Cancer, which is your 12th house. So that could be what's bringing this up for you guys to look at. That's certainly a possibility. Whether, like I said, whether it's around this connection or with another person. But it definitely looks like something that hasn't been healed yet. And I feel like you guys aren't really communicating around it too. So that could be what's making it more difficult as well. Present energy on their side, we have the Knave of Pentacles. So this represents, basically it's the same as the Page of Pentacles, but what stands out to me with this deck in particular with this card is how much cup energy there is there. So, we saw the Ten of Cups in the past, we see more cup energy here, even though it's a pentacle card. And to me, it could just be saying that, well, for one, obviously you could be dealing with a water sign. That's certainly a possibility. But beyond that, it could just be saying that emotionally they're, they might have a lot of love for you, but again, as far as substance-wise, you might have felt like that might have been where they were lacking a bit. But with the Knave of Pentacles there, I do see that they're, at least trying to make that effort in a certain regard. So that's what I see there. And in the future position, we have the Prince of Staves, which is Sagittarius energy. Power, which is actually Aries energy, and that's the equivalent of the Emperor. And Justice, which is Libra energy. So here, looking at these 3 cards, I feel like the Prince of Staves could just be saying that you guys might actually be taking action toward the situation. Now, for some of you, it might actually be moving further away from this connection just because his body language is turned away. But what's more likely, if I look at it this way, it's like probably you guys deciding to communicate what you're looking for, where it could be one of those things where when you have that full moon in Cancer, it might bring to your attention that, okay, well, I could sit there and say that all of these things they're doing aren't measuring up to what I want, but have I even expressed what I want, right? So that could be a realization that you guys are coming to, and with the Justice card there, to me, that would represent actually, making some communication around the situation, and it looks like things will move forward in a positive way. So, like I said, for a small percentage of you, that could be you moving on to another connection altogether. But for more of you, I feel like it's more likely saying that you're actually going to express to them what's going on and go from there. Future energy on their side, we have the Ten of Wands. So this is actually Sagittarius energy here. And with this showing up, I would say that this probably, in this deck in particular, it's not as much as like they view it as a burden, like I would say with the traditional Ten of Wands, but could just be saying that they might have felt like, getting to this point with you guys might have been a lot of work, but they are still willing to put that work in at the very least. So, and I could definitely see that because, like I said, it looks like you guys were a bit doubtful toward them in the past. In the present, it looks like you weren't necessarily communicating exactly what it is that you want from this person, what your needs are. And in the future, it looks like you can finally get there. So I feel like this is saying, okay, well, on the one hand, it might almost be a little bit of a relief for them because like now they might at least be like, all right, well, at least now I know what Leo's expecting, because like I said, I do see that there's that effort that they've been putting in, but it just might not have been exactly what you were hoping for. So, all right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Three of Cups. So this is actually Cancer energy here. So again, could just be pointing to the insight that you guys might get when you have that full moon in Cancer, and that might actually help open things up for you guys. Could be as simple as you might just be with family, right? And maybe just some time away with family to disconnect from the situation, maybe hit the reset button. That might actually be what brings you guys back around and says, okay, I'm ready to move forward now. And bottom of the deck on their side, speaking of Cancer energy, we have the Queen of Chalices. So this is actually the court card for Cancer. So given all the water energy there, it's possible you guys are dealing with the Cancer too. That's another way it could be playing out. But beyond that, I feel like, again, this is saying that they have all that love and passion for you, but with the Queen of Chalices energy, I feel like that's them stepping up. And again, to where, like I said, it feels like you might not have trusted them in some way, shape, or form. Like, okay, I don't know if this person could step up to the level of expectations I have, one of those types of situations. But looks like they will be able to do so there. So hopefully that resonated with you. And next we'll move on to the Oracle cards. So first we'll see if we get anything from Aqua Moonlight deck here. I did pre-shuffle this deck before we started recording. And what I'm looking for here actually is just some jumpers. So first I'll be looking for unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, then I'll just take that as a sign to move on to the next Oracle deck. But sometimes we'll get additional messages here, which can be helpful. So we'll see if we get anything. Got one there, and we'll see if we get any from them to you now. All right, nothing coming up, but I'll give a few more. Oh, there we go. All right, so let's see. First, we'll see what we got from you to them. Okay. We got sensitive. There we go. And it says, thinking about you makes me emotional, and I want to open up to you about how I am feeling. Well, at the very least, I could see where that would resonate with what I see with that three of arrows. But again, combine that with the fact that it's saying, you want to open up about how you're feeling, but I'm not necessarily getting the feeling that you guys are actually taking that action and doing so. Like I said, worst case, this could even be pointing to when the full moon is in your sign toward the end of January. Then you guys might feel more open and expressive, especially as we get the energy moving through Aquarius, which is your opposite sign. That could help open things up too. All right, and then on their side, we have mistake. It says, I made the wrong turn, and honestly, the grass wasn't greener over there. So, an interesting message there, because with this Ten of Cups energy, we do see it looks like the one person's walking away when the other person is offering something to them. But really, what I would feel like this would be for the majority of you, if this actually is going to resonate with that side of the story, is that, they might have actually made an offer to you, and you just, for whatever reason, like I said, it looks like you might have been looking down on it in some way. So they might have just decided to leave altogether rather than continue to put in the effort. So basically, it could have been a thing where neither of you were really expressing what was going on. But at the very least, if that's the case, it looks like they'll be back pretty soon with that Knave of Pentacles, because to me that looks like extending an offer in some way. So I don't know. Like I said, this one I could totally see fits your side. This one, it's a little more iffy. But hopefully that resonated with you guys either way. All right, and finally we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And here we're just looking for one card though, but I did pre-shuffle this as well. All right, nothing's coming out, so I'll give a few more shuffles. Worst case, I'll just put the deck down and we'll pull a card. Yeah, so let me just put the deck down and we'll pull one. So give me a second to tune in. All right. Go here. Okay, we have Go the Distance. There's the artwork, and the number is 47. Okay, it says endurance, strength, the long haul. The Oracle's message says to bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunities, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. So definitely a pretty positive message there. And then obviously with the whole going the distance theme, like I said, it looks like in the past and even in the present, you guys might not have expressed yourselves, but with that Ten of Wands there, the Queen of Chalices, and then the cards on your side in the future, it looks like if you guys do actually open up and communicate with each other, there's definitely that potential. All right, the relationship message says you either are in or are calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself, and are remade in new growth, you are being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean that there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? So definitely a pretty positive message there as well. And we do have the fact that you guys are going to have Saturn in your sign for a couple of years and also Jupiter for 1 year. So, that's definitely going to put more energy and emphasis into your opposite sign, which is about relationships and partnerships. So, overall, pretty positive message there. Hopefully that resonated with you guys. Once again, hope you're having a good holiday season and Happy New Year. I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.